Hey, good morning everyone. Happy Friday. It's about 7:30 a.m. on the eastern coast of the United States. I know it's not morning everywhere where you may be, but so good afternoon or good evening, okay? Prices of BTC currently at $8,260. We obviously saw a big sharp drop. Um, Clearly, there was a lot of sellers waiting up here in this 9,000 area. And whether you want to look at this as people who were trying to hold on to their short positions, or sellers were just waiting up there because there was just so much amount of selling going on, or this was really just a way to weaken this supply right here. But ultimately, what really happened is we had a domino effect because sellers came in, dropped the price, market sold, and then this sort of accelerated a drop, creating a panic in the market, hitting other stops, and that usually happens too. No one could have really predicted this, guys. I mean, everyone saw, I'm sure, the $9,000 break. I'm sure everybody on Twitter and every single article that you'll see today showed that 9,000 was broken. But really, you have to start looking at the way the candles closed. This wick in the larger scheme of things doesn't even matter. Okay. What really matters is where all these candles, went down and closed. All right. So being currently at around 8260, you can see that this was previous resistance. Okay. This was that previous bull flag, as you can see, right? Where we hit 8260 a bunch of times right here. Let me raise this up. Technically, it's a little bit higher. It's like right around that area right there. So let's just say 8,300. Okay, this horizontal right there. 8,300 was tapped once, twice, three times, and then finally the fourth time around we busted through it. Okay, this was actually a pretty good retest. Again, you don't need to completely retest this area almost perfectly. You just need to come close to it and then move away from it. Okay. But we basically did retest it, and then we moved away from it up towards 9,000. But then obviously there was a big rejection at 9,000, whether it was short sellers, holding their ground and covering their positions. Because remember, if prices go through this area, all the shorts are underwater. Okay, then they'll have to rebuy either long positions, or they'll have to buy spot BTC, meaning they'll have to buy BTC the asset. So that will further accelerate the price to go up. But if they hold on to their positions, okay, that means that prices will tank and they can close out their shorts down here in profit, or maybe they even open shorts right here and held big sell walls to be able to dump the price. Okay, there's a lot of ways to speculate on exactly what happened, but the truth of the matter is I don't know, and I wouldn't really think that anyone else knows. But these are all possibilities, stated. Okay, that I just told you guys that it could be the shorts covering their positions, or it could just be a large amount of sellers not willing to let the price through. All right. Either way, in the grand scheme of things, okay, when we look at sort of this larger bullish cycle from way back here around February 7th, 2019, the bottom that we had at 3,300. Then we broke through about 4,100 in the first day of April, and then all the way up here. In the grand scheme of things, I'm saying that it really doesn't matter. Okay, these 4 days of bearish movement, not really a big deal in my opinion. All right, and I personally don't think that this is going to be a sign of reversal unless we start breaking critical resistance, previous support levels. So first being, if we start, let's see, let me go back to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so first things first, I had drawn this line yesterday, and I showed my community right here in Bitcoin analysis. Again, if you're not part of the Moon Lounge, guys, go to Cryptosomniac, click this Discord link right here, or click products right here to join the advantage, and you'll get all the channels that you see locks under. Okay, And so we provide a lot of information for our Advantage members. So anyway, going back to this area right here, I'd stated that a good area for BTC to bounce at is probably this red box, okay? Obviously, this red box got moved a little bit that way, but, you know, a lot of confluence here. So let me explain why. First things first, you can see this trend line touching here, here, and here. And price was supposed to meet it right around this area. Okay, and hopefully bounce off it, but it didn't, so that's okay. Now, what we're looking to see is this bounce right here, which is about $8,300, right? These couple touches right here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that area is obviously in this red box too. And number 3 is if we start doing a fib retrace from this bottom to say this top right there that we saw, okay, this area was supposed to be a 618 bounce. All right, now you can see obviously that price is still technically hovering around that 618. Okay, I'm not going to count this wick because clearly, you know, I want to look at these candles closing and these wicks right here. They all move, or I'm sorry, close around this area right here. So we're just going to count it at this, this being the top of the fib. Okay, so still hovering right around the 618 fib, and you can see we also hit the 786 perfectly. Okay, so all in all, there's a large amount of confluence for price to remain here and bounce here. Now, if price does not bounce here, then we may have a little bit more downside. Next support line being probably, you know, where this line and this trend line touches, so probably around 78 to 7900. I'd also mocked up something else over here. Okay, let me see if, let me pull up a different chart. I forgot where it was. This is a distribution. I mean, even this distribution is technically hasn't played out completely yet. If you go to the TradingView Cryptosomniac community, you know, you'll see me put this distribution up a few days ago. But I still would not say this is valid, okay? Or I'm sorry, validated, okay? Because we still have to dig in deeper in the zone, move sideways, try back again, get rejected again, okay? So even if we move this up thrust to maybe this area right here, which was about 8,900, you know, we first have to actually spend more time in this region right here, the 7,800 to 7,900. Okay, but I'm sorry, I digress. I'm trying to pull up a chart where I was trying to explain the confluence of, okay, here it is. All right, so here's that chart where, you know, last week or so I had explained that we were stuck in this big trading range, right? The top of the trading range was 8,300. The bottom was about 6,900, okay? Now, after that, you could see that once we hit these resistance levels right here, see, with the R's, right? That was about $8,300. You can see prices hovering right around that same level, which is essentially the top of these resistance levels. If we break this, then the next support is the equilibrium of this thing. EQ is right there, okay? That's around $7,500. Okay, so if it drops from here, expect the $7,500 to hit. All right, so if you want, you could place some buy orders here, and load up on some longs, or, you know, however well Ethereum or other assets correlate with it. You're gonna have to figure out how much of a percentage move that'll be, or you can simply just wait till the price either gives you a confirmed break to the downside over here to 7,500, or it climbs back up towards, let's see what it was. Let's see, so if it climbs back up, right? So the way you have to utilize these fibs, guys, is you go from this bottom to this top, okay? So that means that we came down to the 618 fib, right? So now you have to use it just the other way around. Price must first climb up above this 618 fib, this 50 fib, and at the very least, you know, this 8539 area, okay? Once price starts climbing above these 3 fib levels, then it's starting to show you strength, okay? So if price gets above this area right here, then you can even consider a long, okay? Because it'll probably move sideways around here and then try to break back up towards 9,000, okay? So that's another way, okay? So it either needs to show you strength, that it's getting to 85.50 or 8,600, or it needs to show you that price is about to, at least price is about to break down further into this EQ. All right, so now you have a couple of choices. But for the most part, if you look over here in my community, all right, I closed everything. And majority of it was in profit. I did have a loss right here in BTC because I averaged in at 86.50. I closed around 85.20 or so. ETH, I closed out, my average was 249. I closed around like 265 or something. LTC, again, same thing. I closed around a nice gain. I had even taken some previous profit taking around $100 and $120. So this is why, it's not only important to understand the structure of charts in terms of technicals, but it's also important to understand proper risk management, proper position sizing, as you can see, right? So BNB closed in a profit, 4% gain. So you can see the thing that I always say, which is, keep your losers small, right? And keep your winners big, like that, okay? So all of my winners right here, you can see 10% gains, 7% gains, 6, 4 outweigh my losers, which is 1.7% and 2% loss, okay? This is what you need to do to become, successful in the space in terms of making proper trades, all right? If you don't know how to do that, come join the community, all right? We have a ton of information in our channels, right? I show you everything that I'm doing. Now, legally, I can't give you financial advice or anything, but I can tell you exactly what I'm doing, either selling my call options on Deribit, adding to EOS, or if LTC is entering heavy resistance, this is where I'll be trimming my position, everything that I provide. And even Bitcoin analysis, we have a ton of updates in this, okay? Yesterday, excuse me, I went on, a multi-update spree as the market was falling, because obviously it was critical for me to explain to our paying members what exactly is happening. And guys, again, these channels are only available to the paying members, okay? You could see that we had multiple updates through the day. I mentioned to everyone that, it might be wise to start closing your positions. That's your prerogative. If you didn't want to, that's fine. But I was telling you that I'm going to close my positions, okay? All right, now let's get to the Elliott wave count, okay? So let's see exactly where we are. All right, so in the larger wave count, the intermediate, this is wave 1, this is wave 2, and we talked about this being wave 3. Why? Because it contains a lot of volume right here, okay? So usually wave 3 has a sizable chunk of the volume, all right? Wave 4 is typically, anywhere between the 30 to 50% pullback, retrace of the entire wave 3, all right? And then wave 5 is typically one that doesn't have as much volume, but in commodities, because BTC acts like a commodity, it is usually the strongest wave, okay? So I'm not saying that this is the 4th wave, because typically you want to see, as you can see, the 2nd wave took 44 days. Typically you want to see the 4th wave take about the same amount of time, all right? Even if it was half the amount of time, which would mean 22 days, that means that for the next, say, half a month, this was the start of the 4th wave. That means around middle of June, closer to the end of June, this is where we might start seeing the 4th wave end, if this is truly supposed to be the 4th wave. And if this is the 4th wave, right, let's see how much deeper it digs in to the price. So we go from the bottom of the 2nd to the top of the 3rd, right? So around 382 lines up to about $6,900. The 50 fib lines up around $6,200, and the 618 fib lines up around $5,300, which is really the biggest area that had accumulation right here. Okay, so I would say, you know, BTC may have a very high probability that 618 fib might be hit. It's going to be tough to see exactly prices dig in that deep. It may even be a quick wick like this one right here. But this is exactly how you need to sort of, you know, map out these levels. Okay, what to look for in terms of if this is the fourth wave. But here's the tricky part. We don't know if this is the fourth wave. Okay, the only way we'll know this is a fourth wave is if it starts, you know, digging into critical previous support levels, previous structures like this one. So like I explained earlier, we need to first see if 8,200 is going to hold. If it doesn't, we'll see if $7,500 will hold. If it doesn't, then we'll see 6,900 holds. Okay, so until you're maybe halfway into the fourth wave, you won't really know. Okay, and that's why, you know, sometimes Elliott waves are subjective. It's hard to know the count until, you know, you're essentially in the middle of it. You can try to pretend like you got the count right, but more often than not, it's really hard to sort of forward project. Okay, now with that being said, let's turn on the pivots and see exactly where we are. Okay, so on the daily chart, we just hit very close to that R5 pivot, which was around 9,300, and then we came down again right under that R4 pivot. Okay, so the R4 pivot is also where these candles struggled through, which is about, you know, $8,400. So it's no surprise. Next support in terms of the pivots again is around $7,400. Okay, so $7,400 or so lines up with this, you know, 7,500. Okay, so a lot of confluence in the $7,400 to $7,500 area, and then previous support where these candles bounced off of was around 7,200. Okay, so a lot of sort of support in the middle, you know, 70 or middle 7,000 region. Okay, volume itself is sort of, you know, tapering off on this run right here. So in terms of volume profile, this could very well be the start of the fourth wave, but like I said, critical support levels need to be broken. Okay, now another thing that I wanted to point out is here's the EMA 21, all right, on the daily, and price seems to be coming fairly close to the EMA 21, which also hovers currently around $7,800, $7,900. All right, so good thing is we haven't quite touched it yet, but if we do, we could potentially bounce off it like we did, you know, over here, here, over here, okay, and pretty much over here too. Okay, so a lot of areas that BTC has utilized the EMA 21, so keep that in mind as well on the daily. All right, let's check out the cloud. The cloud is well, you know, farther away from the price action, so that's not going to help. Let's see if on the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, again, the cloud lines up around 75, 7,600, which again lines up with this level right here. Okay, so I've stated some critical levels. Rewatch this video if you need to. It'll help you out in understanding exactly what to look out for, you know, either that fourth wave starting, or if we're going to bounce at, you know, 8,200, you first need to see price climb above 8,600, 8,700 to be safe. Or if it breaks down further, you have to watch out for 76, 7,500, and maybe even 7,200 right here. Okay. There is also some divergence playing out, and I wanted to show you guys that real quick. If you don't know how divergence works, you know, come join our education channel, our Cryptosomniac Advantage community, and all of it is explained right there in our education channel. Okay. All right. Where did that chart go? I don't know what happens sometimes. Let's see. Okay, there it is. Just disappeared on me for a second. All right, here's the divergence, right, guys? So remember that bearish divergence is prices making a higher high. Okay, that's a higher high right there. All right, Let me make this a little bit more brighter. All right. And the RSI is making a lower high right there. Okay. So this divergence right here, that the price dropping right now, is due to this right here too. Okay. Because price was so overextended in the RSI, the overbought levels, right? But now price made another high and then pulled back a little bit right here. All right. And you can see back here, okay, I'm going to create a little ray. You can see when price reached, where was it? I think it was this point right here, actually. Okay, so when price reached, where was it? From this high right here, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, there it is. Okay, so when price reached this high, right? Okay, and then it reached this higher high. Okay, so if we put it like this, kind of like that. Okay, when price reached this higher high and this lower high on this bearish divergence, you can see price drop from the high of $5,600 all the way to a low of $5,000. Okay, so that's about a, I don't know, $600 drop or so. Okay, and even yesterday we saw price dropping from about, you know, 9,000 all the way down to about 8,100. So $900 drop. So it's no surprise that, you know, when bearish divergences do play out, things do look scary. Things look like the world is falling apart, but really it's, you know, price just correcting itself, calming down a little bit, letting the indicators cool off, and then potentially heading up for its next leg. Okay. So like I said, nothing has changed in terms of, you know, the structure of BTC. I'm still not convinced that we're going to go down further until price shows me a reason that it is going down further. However, I still do remain in 100% cash. Okay, like I stated over here, I was lucky enough to close out my positions in profit. So I still do believe that, you know, if price does show me strength or shows me a bottom around that mid 7,000s, I'll probably jump back in and I'll try to ride the train back up again. All right. I'll check out Ether real quick. Ethereum is testing basically the sideways movement of the pennant that we had, currently around 254. It went to a low of almost 237 or so. You know, again, no structural issues on Ethereum either. You can see the bearish divergence playing out on Ether as well, right? So here's that higher high, and here's that lower high, right? So price was bound to correct, and now that it did, you know, now we have to essentially wait for BTC to give us the proper signals. Okay, let's check out the total market cap of altcoins without BTC's market cap. Okay, you could see that price, or I'm sorry, the market cap hit essentially the top of this Ichimoku cloud yesterday and then pulled back down. I mean, same thing with the overall market cap too. It needs a little bit of cooling down. I think BTC is probably going to be gearing up for, you know, the big 10,000 to 12,000 move I've been talking about. Nothing in my sentiment has, you know, changed. I know there's a lot of people who are freaking out and saying this is a top, but guys, you know, you got to calm down. Not everything that has a couple of bearish candles is going to dump into zero. Okay, just take it easy, relax, you know, take a breather, and start joining our community, guys. You know, if you are not someone who's been successful at trading, come to our community and understand why we make the certain positions that we do, why we trade or place stops where we do. You'll learn exactly how to become a good trader, and our gains reviews right here will say that, right? You could see that last night ONT call was great, 11%. 11.8%. This is just all May, guys. You know, this isn't even in the bear market days, guys. You know, we've been doing this. Okay, you can see all the way back here since July 2018, September, you know, October. So it's not like we just came up in the bull market over the past few months. We've been doing this for a while. So come join and you'll get to see exactly why we're doing so great in our community and why our community members are learning and profiting so greatly. All right. With that being said, you now know levels to watch out for. Wait for the break of this area right here. If that breaks, then you may want to wait around $7,500, $7,600, and if that breaks, then $6,900 is next potentially. Okay, technically it'll be $7,200 that's next, and then $6,900. But for the most part, I still don't see any structural issues, and I expect BTC to sort of round back that bullish movement over the next couple of days, unless we are truly in the midst of wave 4. All right, that's it, folks. I hope you guys enjoy this analysis. Come join Cryptosomniac. Give us a thumbs up, guys. We take a lot of time to do these videos. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend.